But you do need change too, because to anyone who's going like, oh, this didn't happen in the game exactly, like he didn't do this or she didn't do that or this is meant to be here, it's like, if you're so obsessed with exactly how it's meant to go, then just go play the game again.
Yes, I've also seen that argument quite a lot as well.
Stop it. Like, just go play the game again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Morokai with 2 Eyes. We're back on every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. on Spotify and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube. We're going to be talking about DC, Marvel, The Last of Us, video games that have changed into TV shows and have flourished, and the ones that have failed. We're going to deep dive into all of it. And it started because, you know why I love this?
Yeah.
We had an old friend.
We did, actually.
He commented and he asked, he said, DC is currently dead, but thoughts on the new release state of movies for the next 5 to 10 years? And I was like, perfect. I love getting comments.
That's the type of comments, by the way. If you are listening out there watching the podcast, this is the stuff that we want.
Yeah, 100%.
Because then not only do you get involved now in the podcast, but it just helps us out.
Yeah.
It gives us topics to talk about that we can really deep dive into.
100%. So big shout out, Brandon. We really appreciate it, mate. So, look, we're keen. Actually, you know what we'll do? Because of that, let's send him a hoodie.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll send him a hoodie.
I like that a lot.
No, we'll send him a hoodie so he can pick out his colour.
Yeah.
We've obviously got a few ranges and
let me know the colour, mate.
We'll get it to you.
And yeah, we'll flick it across.
We'll see if you watch. So you need to comment again.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, the double entendre. I like this.
But yeah, so we appreciate that. We're going to deep dive into it. So currently with DC, they got some stuff coming out. But
I don't know what's happened over there.
But mate, if I deep dive, the only thing that has really really caught me is that they're going to have their own Green Lantern TV show.
That I did see that, and I also must admit I jumped on board that. I was like, that one actually intrigues me quite a lot.
Be a banger.
The fact that Amanda Waller getting her own TV show, I'm sort of just like, I don't know. Like, is it the character itself? To me, cool, but we've seen her already in 2 Suicide Squad movies.
Yep.
And all that. Like her,
what?
2 Suicide Squad movies.
Yeah,
so I just don't.
Squad.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like,
yeah, I think I've seen a bit of her where I'm like, you're not a character that's drawn me in so much. I'm like, I need to see Amanda Waller. But don't get me wrong, I like Amanda Waller in my show, but I'm not like.
I like it if she features. I don't know if I would want a show revolving specifically around her.
Yeah.
Such.
I was more, look, there's some new stuff coming up which can be exciting. I do like that the next Batman film for them is going to include Robin, and it's going to be about Damian Wayne.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
That's a brand new take. That's awesome. I don't need another Batman origin story. Don't need any of that. There's going to be a new Superman. There's going to be a Supergirl. Like, all that stuff. I'm like, okay, don't get me wrong, that's cool.
I think James Gunn's the right person to be at the helm of it, like, because he has directed Guardians of the Galaxy,
but
stuff.
Okay, but I've got a bit of a problem with it all though. This whole like Flash movie, I really don't like Ezra Miller as a person.
Yeah, either.
I don't think I'm now going to be able to get past that. Don't get me wrong, I've watched people who I'm like, you can be a bit of a flog here and there, but fuck, you were good in this movie. Ezra Miller, I'm like, mate, you have this job specifically for the sole purpose that the whole DC universe complete change is based around your movie.
Correct.
They can't get rid of you. They just can't. And that's why you're in there. So, look, that movie is going to be interesting.
It is.
And they need that switch. They need that complete reset.
I think for me as well, the issue that I have, though, is like, so Aquaman 3 was meant to be happening. With Jason,
I think
is that even still going ahead? Like, that's
the Aquaman is going ahead.
Okay,
so James Gunn said they're going to do Aquaman, but
then,
do you know what I said?
But then after that, like, what's the sort of point of the movie though? If like nothing happens afterwards,
that's what I thought. I'm
like the character's now deemed pointless. Like, if anything, Jason should now be cast as someone completely different in the DC universe, or should try something in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I didn't like it either because I look back and I go, you're not going to include him again in other movies. You're not going to, or somehow it's going to be an alternate. I don't know. All I know is I was like, I'm now not invested in Aquaman.
Yeah.
Because I know this is going to be a whole reset and a new switch up. So there's some stuff in the DC that there's some characters that I saw that I've never seen before. And
which is cool. I think it's awesome that we're not getting your sort of Batmans and
classic rinse
yeah,
and
like
repeat.
just all that because we've seen the stories being done time and time. So
that's why I love that the Batman's a Batman and Robin,
I think that's the way that it should be though,
because we haven't got that much.
especially with how I know speaking of Christian Bale. And those sort of like the Dark Knight Rises, Dark Knight Returns, and all. I actually loved how like the third movie ended in the sense of, like Bruce Wayne sort of like, oh, I'm just gonna fade away, do my own thing, but then like you sort of get revealed that Robin was right, and I'm like, oh, why did they not take up like a fourth movie of that?
Yeah,
because I want to see Nightwing on the big screen.
Yeah, I think everyone. Well, I mean, he was on the big screen, but what do you think of Titans?
So I thought Titans was pretty good from what I got to watch of it. I'm not up to date by any means, but like from what I've seen and stuff like that and what I've been told, it sounds pretty promising. But then isn't that now finishing as well?
I was about to say, I think it's cancelled.
That's so...
Do you know what show they brought out? And I don't even want to know the name of it because I was like, I don't want to focus on this show. It looks so bad. Is a DC show, and I think it's the Joker's daughter, and it's all the supervillains' sons and daughters teaming up together. And the trailer looks so bad that I didn't even want to do any more research to find out about
It's
it.
interesting. The only thing that I've seen, it's not so much as regards to the Joker, but the Harley Quinn, and the Harley Quinn cartoon.
I heard good things.
I've heard amazing things about that. Apparently, it's a really good watch.
Yeah, I watched a couple of episodes and I liked what I saw, but I didn't deep dive and watch any more. That one wasn't too bad. But do you know what? Again, DC, too spread out for me to be focused.
I feel like DC
it's
just
not
pulled from
connected.
so much different story, like because there are so many different stories with so many different characters. There's storylines going left, right, and center of everything. Like there's even a brand new Batman cartoon. It's like movie thing coming out.
But what Marvel did so perfectly is if I was watching something to do with Marvel, somehow it involved it was all
there's
tied
the
in.
Continuity. I don't think that's the right word, but it continued
Yeah.
on. Yeah,
Yep. I get what you're saying.
From each other film. Like
And DC is such a mess. So don't get me wrong, I'm actually excited for James Gunn to switch everything up and start getting into, because he's even integrating the games together as well.
Yes.
So if you're playing a video game, you're gonna be like, "Oh, this connects to this."
It just makes so much more sense, which I think is good. But unfortunately, I think it's sort of a little too late.
It is. They had such an incredible opportunity with Darkseid. The whole plan they had for that movie was going to be awesome. You're going to have an evil Superman and like a post-apocalyptic world where Batman's got this crew that are trying to take back. It's just the whole idea. And Darkseid is a villain. I think Darkseid's a cooler villain than Thanos.
Yeah, agreed.
I think he's way cooler. And it just got butchered so bad that I'm like, oh... I'm not.
Even the
Injustice
storyline in and of itself is a really, really cool one.
Yeah,
and all that as well. Like if it was done properly and well, like you could make so many good things, but just I don't know why, but it seems whatever happens with DC movies, like directors, cast, or whatever, it always just seems like people clash, people leave the projects, then someone else has to pick up the pieces, but then they don't agree with the script, so then they have to rewrite the script. Like it just seems like there's always issues. Specifically with DC movies.
Yep.
Whereas like Marvel movies, like, yeah, there might be an injury on set but it seems to be very smooth running.
Definitely.
And like whether that's the overheads that like they're making sure like the right directors are actually coming out to support the movie
and don't get me wrong, now Marvel was so perfect to me, but now it's falling off. I think all superhero
I feel like the genre
I
itself
really didn't
is
like
just...
the last Black Panther movie. It went too long, and I think that the main role, she just didn't grip me, and I was like, oh my God, this is our new Black Panther. Obviously Chadwick Boseman was awesome as Black Panther, and it's going to be hard to replace, so I give him that out, because it's like, fuck, you've done the best you can with the situation, so... But they're throwing too much. They're throwing way too much Disney shows where I'm like, nah, don't like it. When it was a bit more limited, when Daredevil came out, one of the best TV shows I've ever seen. When The Punisher came out, too good. Literally, I was like, this is elite. And then when Disney Plus started acquiring the shows and it was just Disney Plus, I was like,
See, I did really well with the Disney Plus shows up until Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Captain
Yeah.
Marvel? Yeah, Miss
Kamala
Marvel.
Khan.
Yeah, Kamala Khan. And I got like 3 or 4, and I was just like, you just don't interest me. I never even started She-Hulk. I wanted to watch it, but then I found out, I heard
hated
about
it.
it, and I was sort of already seen like the post credits of like what happens in that show, and I'm just like,
I hated it.
like, I like the sense of the shows are now giving us like more background for these certain characters and stuff like that, but it also is like, there's just so much going on. And I'm also to the point where because I haven't watched the rest of Miss Marvel and She-Hulk, maybe future shows that are coming out as well. It's like, is that going to screw me over if I go to the movies and just watch now just the movies? Like, is there important information where it's like, yeah, you need to watch the show because that's then going to regulate in the movie? Like,
Yeah.
because then as well, it's like, I don't want to be watching something that I don't enjoy, but I'm almost forced to watch it because I need, like...
You need the backstory.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I think nothing is exciting me about Marvel currently. I like that there is going to be a Fantastic Four, and Secret Wars is going to be a massive one, depending on if they do it right. But nothing's gripping me. Even the new movie coming out, Ant-Man, with Kang, and properly introducing Kang the Conqueror, I'm not fully excited. I'm hoping it's really good, and I've made sure I don't watch too many trailers.
I'm the same now.
The
exact same as you.
But fuck, after Thor, yeah, I love Thor, and that sucked.
Yeah. The problem is as well, we've gone from characters that we've actually grown up with. If we really look back at it, 08, I think was the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
So like we've grown up with all these characters, and now we're getting introduced to new ones. It's sort of hard to now jump to them, and like fully be ingested and support them and those characters.
It is.
Because it's change. Like, it's natural like that you don't like change.
But because we've had nothing but A characters, they're now giving us C and D characters, and it's hard to... Like Moon Knight. I didn't like Moon Knight.
I watched Moon Knight, but there was multiple times whilst watching Moon Knight where I was like, I just feel confused and lost.
Yeah, I didn't... These shows aren't gripping me anymore. But if we want to talk about a show that has gripped me and is doing extremely well, is The Last of Us.
Incredible.
Oh, it's so good.
Absolutely. I cannot believe... Like, there was already a lot of hype going into this show. And I must admit, as someone that watched a lot of the people play The Last of Us, whether that was streaming or whatever, and played quite a bit of The Last of Us 2, not as much as other people, but I know how it ends and stuff. I was like, you hear always like, this game's going to be a TV show, this game's going to be... And 9 times out of 10, it's a flop. Mm-hmm. It's very rare that like this show or the movie's actually good. Can I just say, this show has been incredible.
This show's so good.
Episode 3, I haven't even finished like the whole of episode 3. I ended up falling asleep, but I know episode 3 was a bit controversial in the sense of the character that the episode revolves around is only sort of in the game very, very, very briefly. But the fact that they're happy to flesh out these characters and give them stories as well, I've been loving like the first episode, like you're learning about the virus and all that, like you're having that little segment on the news, and then in the second episode we actually go to Jakarta in Indonesia and see from that perspective, and like then even in the third episode how Joel's talking to Ellie and he's like, yeah, so obviously it started from like a wheat grain in massive flour factory and all that in Jakarta, which then obviously flour and sugar being like one of the biggest resources in the world. And obviously in the first episode, like you see them eating the cookies and all that. And then Joel forgot the pancake. He forgot the cake. And it's like, well, fuck, what happens if Joel actually brought the cake home? They would have eaten it. They would have been infected.
Yep.
So it's just all these like minor little details as well. And I'm like, wow. But even some of the shots, man, the universe, the world that they're actually like game to show, I am like, yes. This is actually perfect. Mm-hmm. And the fact as well, this show currently, as it is, 3 episodes in, is currently sitting as the best TV show to ever come out. That is insane.
Yeah.
We haven't even finished the season. There's another 6 episodes to come out.
I can't wait. And they're all like hour-long movies. Like, it's just perfect. The ones that come, like the latest one was just like a tearjerker. Like, I'm like watching, I'm like, holy shit, this is so emotional. Like, I'm really invested in these characters, and it always goes into casting as well. Like, the casting was done really well. You can have trouble sometimes with child actors. it's really hard to get a great child actor that people don't get annoyed at or pissed off with and be like, oh, fucking. But I had no idea. I thought she was a child. She's 19.
Oh,
the girl
really?
who plays Ellie is 19. So I guess that's why she's not that.
And comes across as
annoying.
quite mature as well. Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
So,
I have seen some backlash about her playing Ellie, but at the same time, I'm like, how are you
the look.
Yeah, but how are you going to cast someone that looks like someone that they've just made up off the spot?
That's
though?
what I was. Yeah, I agree with you completely. I was like, because even I had that problem. Like I
the
saw
first
her
episode,
the
I was
first
a bit
time.
like, in the first, I was like a bit like,
You don't look
but then
anything like
when
it.
she talked about her and all that, I was like, your attitude's pretty similar though.
Yeah.
So I can sort of give the benefit of doubt in that. Like,
because imagine if you're like a casting director and you're sitting next to two actors, one who's like fucking shot for shot image of like, that's Ellie. Like, holy crap, that is the human version of Ellie, but she can't act. And then you got one who's like, I could see you as Ellie, but oh my god, you grip me in. So
I love as well the controversy that episode 3 has caused, and all that with people being like, oh, this wasn't even in the game. Why are we doing this and all that? And I'm like, well, if you're not about that, then beware of what season 2 or season 3 or the second game.
They've said that apparently they might not follow the game.
Oh, really?
In the second season, they might start doing their own thing. And I'm like, nah, I hope so. I hate the second game.
No, I get that. But the issue then with that is, though, like, does it derail? I feel that could be interesting. I think it could be good. But then I'm even intrigued as well. If there's only 9 episodes for this season, and 9 episodes is going to cover the whole first game, or will the first season be like into like?
No, I think I'd be able to cover it, especially if the episodes are 1 hour long. But you do need change too, because to anyone who's going like, oh, this didn't happen in the game exactly, like he didn't do this or she didn't do that, or this is meant to be here, it's like, if you're so obsessed with exactly how it's meant to go, then just go play the game again.
Yes, I've also seen that argument quite a lot as well.
Stop it. Like, just go play the game again. I want to see, like, episode 3, and it was done perfectly. Like, it was done properly. That's why I'm like, fantastic.
It's just good to see characters that didn't really get a lot of screen time in the game really get fleshed out. Like, knowing how their life was for them in their own eyes, what they had to experience over this 20-year sort of ride, it just gives, I don't know, it just feels so much more involved.
Yeah, it does. And don't get me wrong, it's a risk too. Like, they could have completely botched it, and episode 3 could have been like, that was a waste of an episode, and we're not watching Joel and Ellie. But they did it right. So it is hard. Do you know who, like, and I give credit to him, because do you know who did it fucking horribly and like it ruined something I loved as a kid? Power Rangers.
Yeah.
The Power Ranger movie that came out was so bad. There was not one moment I was like, yeah. Like
I think the only moment that I ever enjoyed of that whole movie was right at the end when they teased Tommy.
That's it.
And that was it. That's at the final moment of the bloody movie.
Yeah. And
like, you had to watch all of it to get to that one specific part.
And I can sit back and I go, okay, yes. When I was watching it, it was a kid's show, and I guess it's hard to make it more adult, but you can do a lot better than that. There's crowdfunded films that have done way better. But the one that, if we go even further down the list, that had one of the best stories of all time, has won awards after awards after awards on fucking awards, and it doesn't matter that it's a kid's cartoon, is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
That's one of the greatest stories of all time, and you fucking butchered the shit out of that.
That scares me, because I saw Netflix do a thing for One Piece.
Yeah, they put a lot into that.
And I'm like, One Piece? Man, One Piece is still making
so many episodes.
I was about to say, One Piece is still doing episodes today. That hasn't ended because the manga hasn't ended. Yeah. The manga, sorry. Manga,
that's a better call. I was like, no.
I'm glad, sorry. So, yeah, it's just like, dude.
Because
that needs to land. Because Cowboy Bebop, which was another anime, that had one season, and it was horrible. Like, I haven't watched it, but I've only heard bad things.
Well, with Naruto, I remember my brother telling me to watch it. He's just like, there's a site that will let you skip all the
filler
episodes, and there's still heaps. One Piece has so many episodes. Where do you even start? If you were to make a One Piece movie, how do you even like compress?
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, even the series, like, you can never stop. But The Last of Us have done so fucking well. I'm just like, I like that it's coming out week to week because I'm like, I can't wait.
It makes it better too. You can. I feel for me because it's gone to the week to week thing. I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to binge this year. I completely understand that, but the fact that it's week to week, I can have the conversation with yourself, other people that are watching it. We can discuss like, oh, what are they going to dive into next episode, or like, how cool will it be when this happens and that stuff. I'm loving that again. Definitely. That in itself is bringing me so much enjoyment.
Definitely, yeah.
That I feel like I haven't had for ages.
They've done so well. I think I had a mate who loves Resident Evil, and that TV show
I heard that was shocking
as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what is going to be interesting. Chris Pratt's Mario movie. The trailer, I'm not going to lie, very impressed.
Yeah.
But then my issue that I have is, Mario is Italian.
Yep.
Chris Pratt's very American. That's the one thing that I'm like, I'm not saying like they should have cast an Italian actor to play him, but it's just like Chris Pratt to me seems just so American.
Well, to me it seems like more of a cash grab because it's Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
And it's voice acting. Like, I don't get why you need Chris Pratt. There could be so many YouTubers out there. There's a whole thing going on at the moment with Rick and Morty. How
yes, the guy got done.
Yeah,
and now they're getting replaced.
Justin Roiland's getting replaced. Like, literally, the guy who's created the show does the voice for Rick and Morty, and his uniqueness is what makes the show so fucking great. He's gone. Okay, there's so many YouTubers that have his voice spot on. Oh, they have. There's even one guy who like is so spot on to Rick and Morty, like both of them, that I can't tell the difference if I close my eyes.
That's crazy.
So there's people out there to get Chris.
Do it.
Yeah, to get Chris Pratt as Mario. I'm like, why? Well, you could have saved so much money for the animation, I guess, and just found a YouTuber.
Yeah,
like
that's so true.
I don't know, man. So
it's just I'm glad that we're finally getting to witness a game adaptation to a TV show, and it's doing well because it's so rare and so far few between.
It is. It definitely is. So, and this is the best one they could have done it for. So, hopefully, I'm looking forward to, because they've approved season 2.
Did say that.
I think so. I think them approving season 2 isn't going into the whole Abby storyline. Like going, okay, now it's game 2.
Yeah.
Them approving season 2, I think, is going to be their own thing. So they're going to expand, which is I'm excited about, because I'm like, okay, well, they've got Neil Druckmann, who was the creator of the first game. He's part of their team.
It as well. Yeah,
so
cool. He can help with the vision.
Yeah, exactly.
Give them some ideas, maybe lay some foundations.
Exactly. So it's not going to stray too far off where they've been like, nah, fuck off to the creator. Now let's do our own thing, which I think Game of Thrones did near the end. I'm pretty sure, because George R.R. Martin stopped writing the books.
Yeah.
So they went off a different path. Now you've still got the creator. So it's like, okay, cool. Well, what was maybe a different plan he had? Because the second really game cool fucking shit. I hate the second game.
I was thinking though, if the second season did happen, for those that haven't played the second game, there's a specific scene right at the start of the second game that I was like, wow, imagine that on the TV show.
Yeah.
That specific moment would be like, holy
where a character dies. Yeah.
Like, that would be insane.
That would be good. They could have done so many different things. I hate, like, to go from such an awesome first game to a second one where, like, immediately, like, that doesn't make any sense. Or, like, why pull the trigger there? Like, that just, it can piss you off, especially because you just love it so much. Anyway, guys, that was Morokai Twice. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Boom.
Boom.